Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries, where we are at the end, pretty much, of Inkmas. And for Colorverse, we're on day 22. So, third to last ink. Countdown 3, 2, 1. Today is 3. And I'm nervous. I really am. But let's just open the door. Let's just open the door. I'm really struggling with these last doors. Ooh, we have another glistening ink. Huzzah! Hooray! Oh, thank goodness. I'm so excited. Okay, looks like this one is called Portuguese Meteor. And our little door says, the Portuguese Meteor is a color inspired by a meteor that streaked across the Portuguese sky in 2024. Let's go ahead and pull... Either my hands are getting weaker from pulling these out or the Colorverse box is getting stronger. It's rebelling against me. Goodness. Okay, looks like our shimmer is going to be a nice aqua turquoise. Very pretty. And the ink looks like it might be kind of similar in tone too. So maybe we have like, I don't know, teal on teal or turquoise and turquoise, aqua on aqua. Let's swatch it out, shall we? Alright, so initial thoughts on this one. It is much lighter than I was anticipating. It's definitely more of like an aqua, oceanic marine color. It is pretty. I do love this color. I'm a huge teal ink fan, or turquoise ink or aqua ink, whatever you want to call it. But I must say I'm shocked at how light it was when I initially swatched it down. I do think the shimmer on this, being similar in color to the base, will be really pretty. It'll make it very subtle. And if this shimmer is similar to that of like the Milky Way one or even the Rover, where it's very fine looking, it'll just look like glistening oceanic waters. And I think that's going to be absolutely gorgeous. The ink does look like it is also showing slight shading, so that might make it a bit more legible considering it's more of a light ink. And the shading that I am seeing is just similar in color and that it goes a bit more towards like a darker teal color or maybe even a kind of bluish halo kind of thing going on. Really, really pretty. I do think that we are, coming to the end of this calendar, and I want to be wowed by the inks in this calendar, especially for the price point, but the only two that really just made me go wow was the Eclipse Islands and Milky Way. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping the last 2 days aren't going to be a letdown, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for today's ink, Portuguese Meteor is pretty, and I definitely will use it. And it's a nice addition, I would say, especially because it has glitter. It's one of the few glittering inks we got in this calendar. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and compare this one to the swatches in my 𝗂𝗡𝗵𝘁𝗵𝘆 notebook here. The card is still a smidge wet, but you might be able to see a little bit of the glistening that it has going on. You can see the shading that's kind of pooling around, but the glisten is definitely same color. So it's very subtle. It's not overpowering at all, which I know can be appreciated, and it is definitely a nice kind of combination. I would say that they matched the tone of the ink with the tone of the glisten so well. But let's go ahead and do some comparisons. So I'm going to start in my blues here and then work my way into the teals, just because I want to cover all of my bases. This ink to me is definitely a teal, turquoise, aqua, whatever name you want to give it. And it is a very vibrant color, but it's like lighter too. First up here is Ferris Press's Blue Yosemite Falls. Yosemite Falls is definitely slightly more blue and has gray shading and is a bit more washed out. But nice to see that we have something close in the blues if you wanted something a bit more blue toned. Yeah, that's it for blues. I didn't think there was going to be much, but I wanted to see anyways. Diamine's Bliss from the 2022 green inkvent is very similar. It is slightly darker and slightly bluer, but that's close. And then the shimmer is obviously missing in the Bliss. It's kind of close to Robin's Egg by Birmingham Pen Company, but I would definitely say Robin's Egg pulls slightly more blue still. It's kind of close to Waringall's Robinson Crusoe, and Robinson Crusoe has really cool like yellow shading and darker blue haloing. I still think Robinson Crusoe pulls slightly more blue though. Okay, it's almost exactly the same as Herbon's Diablo Menthe, just Herbon has no shimmer. That's kind of cool. So if you wanted a shimmerless color like this, definitely check out that one. Also very similar to Ferris Press's Tumultuous Tides, which has shimmer, but the shimmer in Tumultuous Tides is silver, so slight difference there. Also kind of close to Ferris Press's Three Steamboats, which does not have shimmer and is very light in writing. It's kind of close to Troublemaker's Copper Patina, which is a horribly dry ink. But Copper Patina has a gold shimmer instead of the aqua color, I guess. Also very close to 𝗬𝗵𝘆 Air, which does not have shimmer, but the colors of those two are pretty close together. I still think Air is slightly more blue. And that's all I got for that. Let me pull out the... What was the other one we had? Aquarius Whispers was the other teal from the calendar so far. I just want to see how they compare in terms of color, because they're both of these teals are slightly more on the green side. Obviously, the Portuguese Meteor has the shimmer in it, but I feel like these are kind of close. Aquarius Whispers, oh, and they're both on a Capricorn card. Look at that. Haha, that's kind of fun. Okay, Aquarius Whispers is definitely more green, and I feel like Portuguese Meteor is slightly more aqua, but they're pretty close. So if you wanted a darker version, I'd probably vote for the Aquarius Whispers, but if you wanted a more fun light version, definitely Portuguese Meteor. Yeah, I like both of these. Honestly, I think they're both really great. I'm happy with both of these. Anyways, let me go ahead and do a writing sample of this bad boy. It is really starting to shine with that kind of glisten. There is one ink that I don't have in my swatch book that I don't have a sample of, and it is Van Diemen's, I think it's Parrotfish. And if anybody has that ink and wants to maybe compare to the swatch you see on the screen to maybe a swatch you have in your collection, definitely report in the comments for me, because I've really wanted to try Van Diemen's Parrotfish. But if it's too close to this, I'll skip out on it now and just stick with the Colorverse one that I have. Okay, yeah, writing sample, let's go. Okay, so after writing with it for a full page, I can confirm it is a very light aqua ink. It is pretty, but I think it would not do great in an extra fine or maybe even some fines. However, it did behave really well and it was very nicely flowing. I didn't struggle to write with this one at all. It definitely had a nice kind of lubrication to it. For it being a lighter ink, I'm really happy with that. But downside, again, the shimmer in it is so subtle that I could hardly see it in the writing. Granted, I am using a dip pen, so that may have something to do with it. So I'll give that my grace, right? Like, could be user error. But I feel like the subtleness of the shimmer just kind of blends in. So if you're wanting something very subtle, this is a good option. Otherwise, I would think you can't even tell that there's shimmer in it, honestly. But it's definitely there, and you can see a big pool of it right here in the middle of the big swatch card at least. But yeah, it's a lighter ink. It's okay. I'm not wowed by it, but I do think it's fun to use and a fun color, and yeah, there's that. Anyways, day 22, everybody. I'm hoping y'all are having a good week so far. Christmas is right around the corner, so stay tuned. I will be having a long video at the end of both calendars, and there will be a gift for you guys, so just stay tuned for that. But I hope you're having a good day. Be blessed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.